Hi friends, welcome back. So Russia is buying YouTubers to promote Russian propaganda on YouTube and Elon Musk company Twitter X. Now, Elon Musk has made a statement on said thing. This is Elon Musk just an hour ago. He says, AP stands for Associated Propaganda. So basically, Elon Musk is attacking the news. This is a common strategy that Elon Musk does if he doesn't like the news or the news is damaging to him or his companies. He'll just attack it. And basically, why is this damaging to Elon Musk? Remember, Elon Musk is always saying free speech, right? That's what Elon Musk says. And basically, he thinks that free speech is, promoting misinformation, disinformation, allowing Russian bots on your thing, and now having Russian paid influencers spread Russian propaganda. This is a real problem, guys, and we got to talk about this stuff. If you want to sort of dive into this more and sort of what I'm sharing with you, you have to understand how all this stuff is connected, and it's extremely complicated because you have to look at who these people are and the audiences that they're targeting. So first, this is Benny Johnson. This is one of the right-wing, social media influencer people. He's going to claim victimhood here. He says, our lawyers negotiated a standard arms length deal, which was later terminated. We are disturbed by the allegations in today's indictment, which make clear that myself and other influencers were victims in this alleged scheme. So that's coming from Benny Johnson. He's claiming victim. Tim Pool is also going to claim that. He says, should these allegations prove true, I, as well as other personalities and commentators, were deceived and are victims. I cannot speak for anyone else at the company as to what they do or what they are instructed. Here's another person. This is Dave Rubin. Again, none of these people that are all connected to this story. Statement of the DOJ indictment. These allegations clearly show that I and other commentators were the victims of this scheme. I knew absolutely nothing about any of this fraudulent activity, period. So we're going to see. The problem is, guys, is that this is Tenet Media. The money's coming from Russia going to Tenet Media. The government, the DOJ, was saying something like $10 million. We're talking about, like, say, $400,000 a month to influencers to promote this stuff, the Russian propaganda. They're claiming that they're victims. I'm just showing you guys who's in this organization, and we'll see. This is the headline story if you guys want to read it. It's right-wing influencers were duped to work for covert Russia influence operation, says. And this is the case right here if you want to go through this stuff. It's really complicated because when you dig more into this stuff and you see what they're saying, the question I pose to you is, do you really honestly think these people are innocent and are victims? Listen to what Tim Pool has to say.
They know it. But I don't know that it matters anymore. This is psychotic. Ukraine is the enemy of this country. Ukraine is our enemy, being funded by the Democrats. I will stress this again. One of the greatest enemies of our nation right now is Ukraine. They are expanding this war. Now, don't get me wrong. I know you've got criminal elements of the U.S. government pushing them and guiding them and telling them what to do. Ukraine is now accused, a German warrant issued for blowing up the Nord Stream pipeline, triggering this conflict. Ukraine is the greatest threat to this nation and to the world. We should rescind all funding and financing, pull out all military support, and we should apologize to Russia.
So as you can see, this is very sympathetic to Russia, and Tim Pool is saying, I'm a victim here. I'm innocent. You guys can clearly see what he's doing. This person is an adult, and I'll let you guys be the judge if this guy's a traitor or not. This is a real problem, though, and I want to go over this stuff because why? I want to show you guys a statement here, and this is sort of like, and what I mean by real problem is like, how do you know what's real or not in the world? And one of the things that I always say all the time on this channel is that we need a community to exchange ideas and be like, hey, what do you guys think about this stuff? Because there's just so much info out there. So I'll give you an example. This is just coming out just recently from Elon Musk. It says, just leaving Tesla engineering offices in Palo Alto. Mostly good, some bad. And Elon Musk says, the future is going to be wild. There will be so many robots. Again, that's coming from Elon Musk. And why are we taking about a statement of Elon Musk? Because this is the problem of navigating, be it financial markets, be it the news, etc. Is like what to believe. You have a CEO of a Tesla saying, "Hey, we're gonna have lots and lots of robots," and if the robots end up not being true or not working, so for example, recently there was a robot conference. All the other robots are doing a bunch of robot stuff, and Tesla's robot is sitting in a glass box doing nothing. Right? Do you guys understand what I'm saying here? And so like, it's important to be like, hey, I'm not just going to repeat whatever Elon Musk says. I'm not just going to accept whatever, you know, Tesla marketing is. I'm just gonna be like, look at it with my own eyes, see that your robot doesn't work, and say it. And then what's sad about the situation, the same way that Russia pays YouTubers to promote Russian propaganda, Elon Musk pays Tesla stock promoters to promote his company, right? It's basically misinformation and disinformation. Now, I want to point this stuff out because you have to understand who they're targeting and sort of like why people go along with it. Let me play some a clip from one of the Tesla stock promoters. This is one of Elon Musk's buddies. His name is Farzad, and Farzad's having a conversation with another Tesla stock promoter. And you guys will kind of get a pattern here when you see this stuff. So have a listen.
Why are these conversations so uncomfortable? Why do they sound like conspiracy theories? And why does the mainstream media, a legacy media, why are they afraid to touch this? Like, is this really, like, I'm trying to get my head wrapped around that because I don't think it's false. I think, listen, I'm not saying we're 100% accurate, or I'm not even saying like we're mostly accurate, but we're definitely we're trying to like pull on threads that are logical. We're just trying to be logical about our process, right? It just happens to be, the topic of conversation happens to be the United States government and how the systems in that country are operating. Like, why does that feel so controversial? You know, or am I just projecting my insecurity? Did I put my finger in the pulse of something? Like, help me understand that.
So that's one of the Tesla stock promoters, and it's funny because remember Elon Musk used to talk about Tesla stuff all the time. Now he just talks about like government conspiracy theories. He talks about supporting Trump, this kind of stuff. And these people do the same kind of things. They just follow whatever Elon Musk says. So for example, just 12 minutes ago, Elon Musk is like, not immediately, but firmly on the path. And what's he referring to? This flag, Trump or communism. And so if you don't know, Elon Musk is a big supporter of Trump right now. And this is also a sort of a key theme that you find with these Russian bots and these Russian-backed influencers, however you want to say it, or Russian-paid influencers, that they're all supporting Trump. And then you have all of these Tesla stock promoters who are following Elon Musk, and then suddenly they're all supporting Trump, right? It is a crazy world, and again, that they're going after a certain kind of audience. And let me play this. For example, this is Tim Pool. Have a listen to what he has to say about his early life.
And then Tim, you left school at 14?
Yeah.
And then just
I went to high school for like 2 months.
You're just like, I'm done.
Oh, it's the stupidest waste of time.
Wow.
Yeah,
you're not advocating not graduating high school though.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Really?
Huge waste of time. There's this weird conflating of a high school diploma with a path to success. It makes literally no sense. Taking someone who's 14 and saying, go into an institutionalized learning facility which will give you no real world life skills for 4 years. Talk about wasting formative years. What I did, I was programming websites, I was doing Flash animation, I was making video games, I was playing music, I was traveling, I was skateboarding. Traveling around the area, the city, meeting people, and expanding my horizons.
So that's Tim Pool basically saying, high school is a waste of time. I quit school when I was 14. I was better off playing video games, skateboarding, meeting people. And guys, these are the kind of messages that are coming from people like a Tim Pool, right? And this is a real problem because just think about what it does to the young generation in USA. Do you want your kids listening to someone like Tim Pool? Listen more what he has to say about learning math and reading. Have a listen for yourself.
While my friends were locked in a box, learning for the 5th year. So, I can't even tell you they learned anything because the reason why I was like, I'm done with this, I remember going to high school math class, we'll call it. Teacher walks in, she goes, turn to page 17 and do those problems, and then walks out of the room. And then we're all sitting around like, what just happened? And that was every single math class was that. And I'm like, okay. And my favorite was sitting in a room in English class and having someone go, the teacher says, all right, everyone turn to page 47, and we're going to read the story from Mark Twain. And I'm sitting there, and then, Jeremy, can you read the encyclopedia, Jeremy?
Today, Junior. Yeah.
And so I'm just like, bro, I could read this whole thing in 10 seconds. What am I doing here? This is wasting my time. So I just stopped and go, I'm out.
So that was Tim Pool with some thoughts on math and reading. Now I want you to hear from Andrew Tate, who is another right-wing influencer, and what he thinks about reading. Have a listen here.
Reading books is a very cheap way to, I guess, entertain. I wouldn't call it entertainment because my brain is far too advanced. I'm too smart to read. I'm not gonna sit there and go, smart people read. No, I need action. I need constant chaos in my life to feel content. I need to be driving a supercar and fighting a bunch of hoes and champagne and going crazy. I can't just sit there, oh, and the pirate on the boat. Like, it's for people with slow brains.
So how does all this stuff connect, and why am I sharing with you? So again, this is Elon Musk. He says AP stands for Associated Propaganda. Basically what you have is you have a faction in the USA that are attacking major institutions, right? Be it attacking education, be it attacking news, be it attacking the media. And they basically try to say, hey, don't listen to your teachers. Don't listen to the news. Just like hang out on X and spread conspiracy theories together. Do you understand the real dangers of this stuff? And then moreover, when we find out like this, charges that Russia is now buying influencers to spread this kind of information, it kind of makes sense to where, and this is, Russia's goal is to get Americans fighting with each other. And I'll just be perfectly frank, they want Americans to be dumb. I don't know else a way to put it. And it's really, really a shame. And you have like this person like a Mr. Musk that promotes these kind of things. Let me give you guys another example. This is one of Elon Musk's stock promoters, Hans Nelson. He was in the video with the Farzad dude. This is what he says. He's talking about your right to post misinformation and disinformation is critical. What? Like, what? What's this guy saying? And then he goes on to say, it is a world in which huddled masses are completely defenseless against the psychological attacks of the powerful. Unless regular citizens have the absolute right to engage in misinformation or even outright disinformation, then we live in a world that is dominated by supervillains. So again, Elon Musk, his followers, they're out there promoting the, attacking institutions and saying, oh, yes, you have a right for misinformation, disinformation. And this is sort of like, this is why it's so frustrating because so many people go along with this stuff. Elon Musk, this is him right here. He says it's all about free speech, but honestly, like the kind of world that he wants to live in is a world that where, he can put out whatever robotaxi thing that he's going to put out. And I'll give you an example. It's going to be at, say, Warner Brothers, right? It's a Hollywood studio. It's probably going to be fake. It's probably all going to be, smoke and mirrors. And essentially, if anyone calls him out on it, if I say, hey guys, I saw the presentation of the robotaxi, it looks like a bunch of hooey, I'll tell you that, right? And then if I say anything or another reporter says something like that, guys, I don't think this robotaxi thing works. Then Elon Musk will say, oh, you're just a bunch of liars. Don't believe the news. Only believe, social media people on X. Listen to my stock promoters, this kind of stuff, right? I hope you guys understand, the reason, again, why we need community to parse through this crazy information together. And unfortunately, this is the world that we live in these days. There's so much out there, and it's hard to know what's real. I'm just be honest with you. It's hard to know. But I will say, when you see something like a Tim Pool promoting, Russian stuff, basically saying Ukraine's the enemy, that kind of stuff, and saying, oh, we should pull out and apologize to Russia. Come on, guys, that's Russian propaganda. And then when the three social media influencers come out with the same exact messaging, something's up. Guys, I actually made a video about this also too regarding the FTX influencers. You can find this old video. They did the same thing, same game plan. They're basically running off a script where they're all saying the same thing in their apology. So I want you to take a look at that when you can. The other point I want to mention too as well, when Elon Musk, says he's all about free speech, et cetera, why doesn't he ever criticize China? And that's a simple question. Why not? And I'll tell you, he has a lot of economics interest in China. He's got a factory in China. And he'll never talk about human rights or free speech in China. Yet, he consistently attacks American institutions, be it the media. And then you have all of these right-wing influencers that attack education and that kind of stuff. So it's really a frustrating world that we live in. I hope you understand the message of this stuff. And I'll catch you on the next video.